Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome back. Today is March 16th, 2026 at 11:47 a.m. I hope you're well wherever you're watching this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good to see you again. Today I'm going to do a video in two parts. The first part, we are going to read an important section from a book, just a small little bit, not too much. And then I'm going to show you some things that I have encountered and seen online over the past, 24 hours or so. And then just briefly explain the symbolism of my last video, Dreamland Operation Z. Operation. That's what it's supposed to be, those three Z's. So when you read Dreamland, it's supposed to be Dreamland. Okay? Like a snore. So I will show you what I'm wearing at the end of the video. Well, at the end of this part of the video. Right. Okay. So one of the reasons why I'm recording today is because, again, I feel like it's been difficult for me to clarify exactly what's been going on with me in regards to this. I don't know what else to call it, the whole cosmic con thing. And I know that people might be a little bit sick of hearing it, and I apologize, but it was a big part of my life. And today, I'm going to explain a little bit, the best I can, as to one of the reasons why I'm so upset with Alex Collier personally. Now, I heard of Alex Collier years ago, and I would like to bring up a still image. I hope that I don't get any more copyright strikes from these people, but I'm just stalling right now, okay. So I saw a video that was him as a younger man from the 1990s. I believe it was 1992 or 1994. I can't remember. But it was in the 1990s. And he was a younger man, and a lot of people had seen this interview with him, and he seemed like he had something very urgent to tell everyone, that there was something very important. He seemed kind of stressed out, and I understand the feeling to a degree. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is because in that, he recommends two books. He recommends The Gods of Eden by William Bromley, which I bought, and Extraterrestrials Among Us by George C. Andrews, which I bought. Both of these books came online from a used bookshop. Okay? So I bought them. Now, it took me 6 months, I've said previously, to digest and read The Gods of Eden. It's a lot of information, and it's very well researched, and I enjoyed it. Opened my eyes quite a bit. But in this book here, I never actually finished it. And there's an important reason why. When I was reading this part, particularly on page 26 and 27 of chapter 1, which happens to be called Flying Dragon in the Heavens. Now, if you have been a part of my channel for years now, one of the first videos that I did was called Recurring Lucid Dreams that I've had. I was actually in my pajama onesies, and it was around Christmas. Now, I talk about something that I've written in my book about one of the most vivid and memorable recurring lucid dreams. I've had a few of them, but this one was one of my favorites. And so it also has like a message at the end of it, right? For me. So this recurring dream would be I'd be flying over oceans and deserts, forests, towns, and everything like that. And then I would come over to this one ocean. I don't know which one it was. It was just a large body of water. It could have been a lake. Who knows? And I would be flying over it and I would look down and I would see a giant black shadow in the water. And I automatically assumed it was a monster. So I'd wake myself up every time in this dream and never land into the water. Well, it wasn't until I was a late teenager until I had this dream for the last time and I never had it again. And I landed into the water. I thought, oh, what can happen? It's just a dream. Yeah, I was loose and conscious in this way. So I landed into the water. But after the water settled and I got to see my reflection, I startled myself awake because I didn't look like me. I was a beautiful, giant, golden dragon. I forgot my book. I'll show you, just because the visual is beautiful. Hold on. Okay, so if you have my book here, I've drawn a picture, and this is a spirit garden, a Zen garden. I call it the Spirit Zen Garden. And as you can see, there's a fox, and there is bunnies right there. And then there's this beautiful golden dragon. And these were things that I reincarnated into. I remember being a fox and a rabbit. So there's that beautiful glowing dragon. Chinese style. Like not the ones with the wings. See how I'm like floating? Cool, huh? I love this drawing. And you see this? That right there, I drew, off of, see if I can show you. You see my big Buddha in the middle up there? I do have a better television, by the way. That one's just old, and I don't want to get rid of it because it could be used for like a children's rec room or something. You can put that on the floor. They can't destroy that. They can't knock that over. You know what I mean? So I always just thought, if I put it somewhere, then they're going to throw it right in the garbage. The sound is good. The picture's good. Everything's good about it. So that's why I haven't got rid of it, okay? I do have a flat screen that I wanted to hook up right there and put like maybe like a fireplace background and kind of incorporate that into my kind of filming set one day. Like maybe when I have an actual desk or something. I don't know. I always really liked that. And I'm not copying, but I always really liked that off of Ken Wheeler's channel. I can't say his actual channel, but it's Theora Apophasis or something. Apopassis. Theora. His name's Ken Wheeler. If you look him up, I'll try to put it in here, his channel name, because I can never say it properly. No matter how many times I try, I apologize. I saw that on his channel. I always thought that was a really nice touch, a very nice calming touch. Oh, did I? I hope this isn't really bothering anybody. I really like this light. I like the flashing little lights and like all my little doohickeys I have here. I don't know if you can see this very well because the little mister, because of the sunlight coming from the window, I tried to fix the lighting as best as I could. So where was I? Right, about the dragon and the recurring dream. So again, there's this element of water. Okay, this is very important. A lot of my drawings, okay, I don't really want to spoil things too much for people, but there's a reason why I added all of these drawings that I had done, because a lot of this stuff is like channeled from within me, like this one here. This has to do with the process of ascension, the chakras, masculine and feminine energies, planetary alignments, unified heart and mind, dark and light, and all of that stuff. So I did that one like back, I believe, in 2016 when I really didn't know much about all of this. So I'm channeling or like bringing a lot of this stuff from my subconscious. It doesn't come from an entity or any type of extraterrestrials or some council or, for God's sakes, an archangel. No, this comes from inside of me. So here I am when I'm with Source, and this is Source, the light, and this is all representing energy. And here I am on the lotus flower with sunlight and water, or the divine fire and water. And then I'm connected to Source this way, you see, on the lotus, and that's me. And yes, I'm naked, but that's okay. Nudity is natural. So this is all like the web, I was kind of explaining like how it tried to look like a giant nervous system. And this is like the connection in the middle. Everything is connected to that. So I'm being nourished by the primordial water and fire, and this is Source. So again, a lot of this is symbolism. I know I put the one with the two dragons, didn't I? No, I didn't. Oh, I thought for sure I added the 2 dragons. That was one of my best drawings. But I have a drawing of 2 dragons. And, oh no, they're there. And this is your 2 serpents on your kundalini, the blue and the gold, or the left and the right, right? And you see how this one has fallen into the water. It's become unconscious, the light side, and the dark, or not dark, I hate to say light and dark, but masculine and feminine, rather. Okay? Yeah. And see how one's eyes are open and the others are closed? That's because one is conscious and the other one is unconscious. So again, a lot of people get stuck with this one. And this is that one that found me in my my scariest dream of my life with the school bus. That's what this one looked like. But this one is me. And this one would be its mate. But they're those same serpents that are here on the kundalini. You see, I used them here, going after the flame of source. And the yellow one is reaching first. Yeah, but I didn't know about this, and that's my interpretation of stuff like that. So a lot of this is symbolic, like I said, and there's the water dragon. I know I'm ruining all the pictures. There's the water dragon. So with this water, what it means is, so water represents the unconscious. So when I'm landing into the water, I was in the spirit realm. I'm landing into the water, going back to becoming conscious again in the waking world. Do you see? In this dream where I became the golden dragon, and well, I always was, I didn't realize. But when I land into the water and I see my own reflection, I startled myself awake. I never had the dream again. Because it showed me that the whole time, there was nothing to be afraid of. It was me. I was the reflection in the water. Maybe it symbolizes some type of fear of my own power, you know, from the subconscious. Oh, right. And there was one more. So everyone notices, like, recognizes this picture on the cover, right? Of Maya Sura. Again, another aspect of self. So with that, when I drew that, I saw it standing in the water. Again, this is a conscious, unconscious type of thing. You see? I had no idea what that meant yet. So there he is, standing in the water, becoming conscious from the unconscious. You see? So I will draw that a lot. There's actually 2 drawings I've done of him like that, but that's enough. So this is what this represents. Now, I didn't actually plan to go all of this because I wanted to show you the example in my actual video. But if you saw my Power Rangers example from Dreamland, how long does it take you to fall? I do that sometimes. When you like ask a question about being sleepy, just fall asleep mid-sentence. It's hilarious. Like, it's really good. When you're talking to people and you're talking about something to do with sleep, fall asleep mid-sentence. It'll get a good laugh. It always does for me. Anyway, where was I? All right, about the Dreamland thing. So when you see the Green Ranger, I call on the power of the dragon. So that is the superheroes summoning me into the spirit realm. And the Dragon Zord rises up out of the water, coming from unconsciousness to becoming conscious out of the water. That's why I represented it as me being summoned out of the spirit realm. Now again, this is just something that I got a vision for. Like, what do I add here for my beginning and my ending? And it just happened to be the Power Rangers. I've never used the Power Rangers all this time, except for in one video that I made ages ago called The Holy Grail, which I was trying to express this stuff before. All the clips in that, again, are symbolic and need interpretation. But at the time, I wasn't able to interpret it. It was all coming from intuitive feeling with these scenes that I was seeing in my head. the same as when I saw Tommy summon the Dragon Zord again. So I found this perfect clip and used it as a symbolic representation of what I'm trying to talk about here. With when it comes to lucid dreams and the spirit realm, and how I said, like, sometimes I just get so tired, like someone is summoning me into another place, right? I've mentioned this. And that I've always known that I'm going someplace when I go to sleep. But I never thought it was ever an alien abduction. I knew that it was some sort of spirit body travel, like my spirit was going to other places when I go to bed. Okay, so back to where I was, and with Alex Collier. So this has been this journey, and especially since I saw the Asura in 2015 in my room, and then because if you're not aware of that yet, it had so much energy as an egregore. It had basically accumulated through my entire life. All this energy, it had the ability to manifest physically in my bedroom, which is absolutely phenomenal. At the time, I had no idea about density nor dimension, but I tried to express it the way that I could, saying that the air had changed and it had become thicker, that there was this light pinkish purple glow. It was only for a moment, like the molecules had switched over, and it was like a small glimmer of light, this pinkish purple light. And that's why I was using that pink cloud border. I hope you like this one. It's mountains and moon. It's so beautiful. But yeah, that's why I like that pink color. So it had that pink color, but the density and the way that the dimensions felt like there was 2 layers now instead of 1. I think this is extraordinarily important, even just for scientific purposes, because I was totally unaware. And at the time I thought I was seeing an alien. You see, I'm really glad that I've documented this the way that I have, even though I may end up losing my mind. And this is what we are going to talk about now, is that this has been extraordinarily difficult for me. I didn't have any, well, I didn't know they were fake, but secret space program stories that were made up, like Corey Goode has done. Or, you know what, I just need to say that I truly think that people saying that they represent a galactic federation or something like this are incorrect. The spiritual hierarchies are complicated and different. But do I think, because now Elizabeth April is claiming to speak for the Galactic Federation. Elena Danaan says she speaks for the Galactic Federation as an emissary. Neither, they're not friends. They're not going to be friends. They're not going to talk. At least I'm pretty sure they haven't. But it's very peculiar that a lot of these people don't work together, which we already know, right? So it's been extraordinarily difficult for me to get the things that I have to say out, because I don't have these extraordinarily enticing stories about fighting evil aliens with the government and such, or that I'm an emissary, or that I'm some type of royal member of the Anunnaki line, or what the fuck ever. It's just me, and I was happy and proud of the experiences that I had had, and it was enough for me. I didn't need to add more to it. Unfortunately, I've had one heck of a time to get people to even listen to me. I have quite a few things against me, my CPTSD and my weed smoking being number one, or both of those things right there. But also, I do have to remind myself often that, just like with the Power Rangers video, if people thought this is childish and turned it off right away, it's because they were not educated enough in the symbolism to recognize what I was trying to visually express. You see? Now, the childlike thing is part of my CPTSD. I've always been like this. And it's just something that, I've come to love and appreciate about myself. And I'm sure that other people do as well. And I greatly appreciate you for loving me exactly as I am. And so, it isn't easy when people are calling you crazy and thinking you're mentally unstable, or making things up for attention, or because you want to be part of a community because you're so lonely or whatever. I've heard it all. for whatever, or I'm repressing some type of childhood memories that I don't want to talk about, which is absolutely not the case. I've been totally honest about, yes, I've experienced this type of stuff, but I've also had these extraordinary events and these things going on with me that I've recognized initiation and my consciousness evolution and all of these things without having anyone to teach me or tell me them directly. Like I'm not part of any type of secret society. I've never had any contact with these types of people, not even as any kind of mentors or, stuff like this. Now, let me just get to the point where this book, again, was recommended to me by Alex Collier. And he, above all people, should know the consequences of what happens when people aren't believed or listened to. And one of the reasons that this is happening, like I'm going to reiterate again, is because people are making up fake stories and giving themselves fake titles. We're going to get into a little bit more of this in the second part of this video, but I'm going to read this part to you, which was extraordinarily important, and it actually brought me to tears. So I thought, this is going to be me. Even back in the day when I first talked about this, I've had this book now for years. Okay? The Mayo Clinic. Okay, let me see something. Here are some direct quotations that give a glimpse of the sparkling jewels of insight to be found in UFO dynamics. The Mayo Clinic collaborative investigations of whole families by a team of highly skilled physicians has provided a major breakthrough to the question of trauma, fact versus fantasy. These are up-to-date studies, and I realize this is an older book. It still applies. Fact versus fantasy. These up-to-date studies seem applicable to the problem of validity for the UFO experiences. For example, one such study of 91 patients and the relatives revealed that the majority of schizophrenic patients had actual traumatic assaults by parents or parental surrogates. It was clearly demonstrated how the first schizophrenic delusion represented in a striking, specific, manner the essence of a parental assault. By analogy, the comparison to fit schizophrenic delusions, the UFO experiences of healthy subjects, those who did not suffer from gross psychopathological distortions, take on even greater significance for objective reality. Fantasy and delusion versus objective reality is a complicated process, but for the skilled therapist experienced in collaborative psychotherapy dealing with both parent and child, it is entirely possible to separate fact from fantasy, and this is why it's been so important for me to both divulge what I experienced in my childhood as to what I was experiencing in my spiritual life, okay? In a healthy person, the task is that much easier. Therefore, in an absence of psychodynamic motivation for conscious or unconscious fabrication, it seems that the 4 UFO examples are factual and objectively correct. The problem is in the interpretation. While it is evident that the physician will undoubtedly come across some crackpot and irresponsible accounts, like Corey Goods is irre-fucking-sponsible. He told people he was part of a 2020 back military program. He also said the military came to pick him up from school when he was a kid. I think both of those things are false and feel so. And this is irresponsible for these people to go around and make up stuff and muddy what things really are and substitute the spiritual hierarchies and realms for extraterrestrials, aliens, and off-world planet like they're getting picked up in spaceships is absolutely ridiculous, a mockery to the entire subject, and you are destroying the lives of other people who don't want to take part in your tomfoolery. As a practitioner of an ancient art and science, he should scrupulously avoid ridicule and keep an open mind, lest he unwittingly discourage significant reports from those who have had valid experiences, which is why I held back from speaking about it for so long, and thus inflict damage upon them. A condemnatory attitude is as scientifically reprehensible as a gullible one. As Dr. Adeline Johnson said in Psychoanalytic Quarterly, Volume 1, Number 25, we can now see that in years past, patients were lost, that means they themselves, or driven into psychosis by our failure to believe them, because our conviction that much of their account must be fantasy. In 13 years, excuse me, of private practice, in which I have seen 3,391 patients in psychiatric examinations and have participated in thousands of hours of psychotherapy, I have never noted symptoms related to UFOs. A similar finding was confirmed on questioning Theodore A. Anderson, MD, a senior psychiatrist, and Henry A. Davidson, MD, then medical director, of the Essex County Overbrook Hospital. Dr. Davison recalled no patients with gross UFO symptoms out of the 3,000 inpatients, nor among all those presented to the staff while he was superintendent, nor of 30,000 patients who have been hospitalized since the turn of the century. My own check of standard textbooks and journals in psychiatry, psychoanalysis, and neurology also confirmed this absence of UFO-like experiences in various nervous and mental diseases. A computerized search of the medical literature in the National Library of Medicine's Medlar system retrieved 0 citations covering the years 1964 to 1973 in 1973. In view of this dearth of data, both from practice and the medical literature then, it is indeed interesting that the past, and even currently, the media and official statements have seen fit to attribute such of UFO phenomenon to psychopathology, hallucinations, delusions, religious wish fulfillment, etc. What a spacious way to stigmatize and intimidate those who must have had UFO experiences. It is very hard, people thinking you're crazy, even though I feel very crazy most of the time. And I try not to, but it's hard not to, you know? In many cases, and maybe most, the underlying... Oh, I missed a part. Why hasn't there been an outcry, if not righteous laughter, over the recent totally unsupported allegations of psychiatric pathology from masses of UFO witnesses by those who are not psychiatrists? In many cases, maybe most, the underlying force for both PSI and the UFO experience could be identical. Is there, and has there always been, another dimension that surrounds us? So again, like I was talking about, interdimensional beings, a dimensional thing, no one going to any type of planet, that they are going to planes, the outer spaces outside of our realm. It's wrong to pretend that you're flying on spaceships to Neptune, Helena Denon, when you're doing this from your couch, dear. You guys have risen yourself above everyone else like you're more important. Now, as Corey Good found out, someone showed up to his house, worshiping him, thinking that he was some type of god. What's been done, like it says here, is highly irresponsible, to say the least. And I really needed to express myself seriously, because I worry about my future. I don't mean to seem like I'm giving up on myself, because I'm not. But over these years, it's been extremely stressful. And if something does happen where I have some type of mental break, because the Claudio Nocelli stuff makes me feel so fucking crazy. Like my dreams of him and all this kind of stuff. This might be something where my mental state is degrading. So before it goes, I really want to encourage those, especially these journalists, thank you so much for being here, that have come across me. I do hope that I have given you the absolute best research that I could provide for you. from a genuine, authentic account from someone who wasn't looking for fame or looking to be worshipped as an extraterrestrial ambassador. Yeah. I'm not perfect, but I will say that it wasn't easy for me to share some of these things that are in my book, but I knew it was the right thing to do because at the time I was not aware that other people were making things up at all. I was still thinking at that time when I put out my book that most of these people were being somewhat genuine and getting to a place that I just couldn't reach yet. You know, that I had never been invited to a secret space program for whatever reason, probably because I don't keep any secrets, you know. But yes, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I have tried to express myself to the best of my ability, but I am getting a little bit tired now, and I'd like to I don't even think I have to make a second part because I explained all of it, but I can make the little bits where I showed you, where I told you about how I seen a few things that was concerning to me that does have a little bit to do with this subject, because I don't even know who Chris Bledsoe, something or other. I don't even know who that is, but I'm pretty sure that I may have heard of him from the Truth Seekers show. I had some type of deja vu type of feeling, so I'm pretty sure that's where I've heard of him before. Chris B. Breadsbro, something like that. I'll show it to you in the next part, which we're going to switch over. So thank you so much for being here with me for this part. Please don't leave because I'm about to show you my awesome outfit that I put together today. But this is an excellent book. Of course, he doesn't get everything right. There is a presence, but is extraterrestrial what we actually think it is? I do not believe so or feel so anymore, that these are higher dimensional beings that have indeed had influence over our human society for quite some time. But I do not believe like that they have come to Earth in the sense where they've come from another planet. They've come from another plane or another dimension. I've explained this about beings of the mind. So the heavens are the spiritual realms. So even Zachariah Stitchin's interpretation, those who come from heaven to earth, the heavens are non-material, physical, or non-material rather, spiritual realms. Okay? So it's still very good, and it's still very researched and very well done, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things, especially all the connections with the secret societies, the Brotherhood of the Snake, how a lot of things started. It's very well done. So this is why I recommended this book for years, even though Alex Collier was the one from that video. It's not like he actually talked to me, but when he said he recommended these books, I went out and got them right away. Okay? So again, this is The Gods of Eden by William Bromley, and Extraterrestrials Among Us by George C. Andrews. Okay? And no, I didn't finish this full thing, but it's quite good. It actually continues to go on about how if people were traveling back and forth through space, that NASA would definitely have something to say about that and all of these things. So it is good. I just did not finish it. It actually, when I got it though, this is so funny. It came, look at this. It was like winning the lottery, that book, because it really helped me. But look, it came with old lottery tickets, you guys. Oops. They're from April 1997, y'all. See that? Isn't that cool? Yeah. So I don't know, man. They paid $2 for it in 1997, the Texas lottery. And then there was this little old card in there. And it was right at this point, I left it where it was. It was right at this point with the little drawing of the little fella, the little EB. Although he has some very sinister looking eyes, and I don't know why he's got nipples, but look, he's got nipples. Why do they have nipples? I've never seen that before. But that's where it was. So it came in. Oh, there's the approximate height of the alien is 3.5 to 4.5 feet tall. One source approximated 5 feet. The weight is approximately 40 pounds. 2 round eyes without pupils, under heavy brow ridge. Eyes described variously as large, almond-shaped, elongated, sunken or deep set far apart, slightly slanted, appearing oriental or mongoloid. Just because they got these color eye doesn't mean they're Asian. That's kind of racist. So, it's not funny, but it is, right? Like, just because they have these slanted, that doesn't mean they're fucking Asian. But okay. Because I mean, like, what does that look? That doesn't. Come on now, it's just rude. The head, by human standards, is large when compared with the size of the torso and limbs. Take a look at a 5-month-old fetus, I was told. So, like, they have, like, long, skinny arms and legs, like. Yeah. No earlobes or protrusive flesh extending beyond apertures on each side of the head. Nose is vague. 2 nares are indicated with only slight. Yeah, like these, they have like these slits. The Asura had these slits here and here. And you can open and close them. Like, that's why I thought maybe they come from underwater. They close their nostrils, you know? Where was I? Mouth is indicated as a small slit without lips opening into a small cavity. Mouth appears not to function as a mean of communication or as an orifice for food in ingestion. Neck, described as being thin, in some instances not visible because of a garment on that section of the body. Most observers describe the head of the humanoids as hairless. One said that the pate showed a slight fuzz. Oh, like they're a little hairy. Bodies are described as hairless. Small and thin fits the general description of the torso. In most instances, the body was observed wearing a metallic but flexible garment. Arms are described long and thin and reaching down to the knee section. One type of hands has 4 fingers, no thumb. 2 fingers appear longer than the others. Some observers have seen fingernails, others without. A slight webbing effect between fingers was noted by 3 authoritative observers. Other reports indicate types with less than 4 fingers. Legs short and thin. Feet of one type described as having no toes. Most observers describe feet as covered. One source says the foot looked like an orangutan's. The way that the Asura was standing kind of looked like a freaking dinosaur. Like on the toe part and the heel of the foot was up. Like he was wearing a high heel but didn't have one on. Yeah. Right. Like an orangutan. Skin description is not green. Some claim beige or tannish or pinkish gray. One said it looked almost bluish gray under deep freeze lights. In 2 instances, the bodies were charred to dark brown. So anyway, that's just what it says on page 244. That's next to Space Tribe Signal. It's called Chapter 7, ironically. Oh no, that's where the... Oh no, there's another one. There's another lotto ticket. Did I know there was 3? I must have. Hold on. Yeah, it's actually a very good book. I probably should... Maybe we'll read it together. That'd be something I could do like on live and read you this book. Because it's probably quite old. I don't know how many people will be able to find it. Like I said, I ordered it years ago off of a used bookstore. In 1995, this book was $5.95. A little thing on the cover there. But yeah. There's some more drawings in the book right there. So yeah, anyway, this one's called Space Tribe Single, page 244, 242 was what I was reading, okay? So maybe we will. The font's not that small, so we might be able to read this together. And then I'll actually read a book from front to cover, and you can read it with me. How about that? Okay? Cool. I might play these lottery numbers again, by the way. just to see what happens one day. Let's put them back where they were. Yeah, this just came in the mail like this. There was these lottery tickets, and then this old, like, browned, white. It used to be white, but it's old and brown now. It's like a card with nothing written on it. So I kept it. All right, let's check out what I am wearing, and then I'm going to show you that next part of my video. No, I don't put those on the floor. So today, again, I have shoes. A lovely black shoe. And I'm wearing tights. So I've had this dress. Actually, look, it has an embroidered L. Isn't that cute? I didn't get this. I bought it like that. So it's not like I put that on there. I bought it like this. I haven't had this dress since I worked at a little shop called Cornucopia back in 2012. And it was quite loose fitting before, but now it fits quite snug. So I know that I'm back at a healthy weight because in 2012, I was ridiculously skinny, like really, really, really skinny. By 2014, I was really, really skinny and unhealthy. I had an eating disorder. So because of like stress and everything, it's not because I thought I was fat. I always thought I was beautiful. It's just from stress. Okay. So, sorry, it went up a little bit. It's not as short. This is something that's like shorter than I would normally wear. Okay. So I'm going to try, let's see here. Okay. So this is a dark blue, kind of like navy type. I don't know if you can see that little thing. It's got like this cool little metal thing on it. It's got, I don't know what luxury or something it's called, luxury, but it's spelled, let me see here. Luxirie. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that little golden thing. I like that. And then it has these cool little buttons on the sleeve, which makes it look super fancy. Yeah. And then I got this cool flower thing. See, it kind of just looks like that. Although I couldn't find my navy blue bra, so it looks kind of bad with the black, but this shoulder's supposed to go down while this one stays up. That's the type of dress it is. See? Ta-da! 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 Cool, huh? Yeah. So I always fall over in my heels a little bit, but so this is what I look like. This is my shoe. And I have like a cool foot jewelry. Oh. I'm going to have to edit that. Oh my God. I'm not doing it again. This video is 43 minutes long. Anyway, I'm going to put something there so none of you can see my tush. I'm wearing panties and everything, but I didn't actually expect that was going to happen. So, this is my shoe. And this is my cool dress. It looks lovely. Woo! So yeah, of course I would always wear tights with something like this. You know, it is very short, but I made sure that if I bend over, like you can't see my butt because it like stays tight on there. Yeah. So I would probably, if I was going to wear this out, I'd probably wear that black sweater, like make sure that it's, because it's not so short, but it's kind of short. So anyway, I'm definitely going to put a picture there so you cannot see my bottom. But yeah, I kept my hair in a braid today, and I have my little side piece bangies on the side, like little bangs. And so yeah, these tights, you gotta pull them up. There. And it gives me a nice figure. So yeah. Yay! See, I have nice stuff. I don't always dress like a bum in my pajamas. And yeah. So, and I know it's like the Egyptian eye. Be like, oh my god, the eye, she got that, she's evil. No, man, I was wearing this on my photo shoot too. Here, I'll show you it. I really love ankle jewelry. It looks really cool when you wear shoes stuff. So, yeah, it is. It's the all-seeing eye, but it doesn't mean that it's fucking evil. You know? Again, it would be this one. Not the left. The right. Right? So you might not want to just jump to conclusions, or you might be, what was that? Like the Salem witch trials. And wouldn't you feel bad if you burned me into the stake and then you realized that I was innocent? Arse. So, no, I'm not a witch. I do like stuff that seems witchy, I suppose, but I tried to explain about the rabbits and the moon and stuff like that, all being Usagi's real name and stuff like that, so whatever, because I don't really identify as being a witch, but, you know, some of the stuff I have here, whoops, I sat on my book, like hardcore, yeah. But anyway, assumptions are for losers, which I made a few. So, because I definitely thought that Claudio Nocelli was, doing the same type of thing as like an extraterrestrial ambassador type of person. And I guess I just didn't realize. Now, I don't think any less of him because of it, but definitely like it does give a wrong impression. You know what I mean? Because then when I see him in his underwear, I'm like, well, what kind of a person that's hanging out with aliens and speaks for aliens, extraterrestrials, does something like that? It just looks wrong. You know what I mean? Because, you would expect better behavior from a person who's trying to represent a higher society, right? That's all. So, I mean, I still like the fella. I still think he's wonderful. He's a great author. He's super good looking. Very, very smart. He's putting all the knowledge and stuff that he's learned into his books. With the resets and Tartaria and all kinds of things. You can learn a lot of stuff. I mean, I didn't read them, but I'm sure they're very good. I kept having panic attacks. I couldn't do it. I started to read The Lands of Mars, and yeah, it was too much for me. So it's too spiritually intense for me, I guess. But I'm sure glad that I found it. And it's okay to make mistakes. And I mean, if people want to laugh at me for whatever, I don't care. I learned from it all, and I suppose it's a bit embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure that people will understand because the life that I've had and being like, in that vulnerable person type of state, like I really did want to have a different life, not because I wanted to escape this one or like try to bypass anything. I just thought if there is more out there, I definitely wanted to be part of it. Okay. So yeah, I was having these types of experiences, and then I was listening to the Cosmic Con people, and we had these certain things in common, but then of course with their untrue stories and their exaggerations for public relations or their intellectual property, yeah, I wasn't doing that. So it didn't get me very, very far, but I am pleased with at least how things have turned out. Like I know a lot of the answers for myself now in my own journey that I wondered ever since I was a kid, So yeah, I would like to thank you for being here with me today. I am going, like I said, this video is going to switch over and we're going to have like the screen and then my little face in the picture over here, like we do sometimes. And I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I've seen over the last 24 hours. Hopefully I can remember them all that I wanted to show you. I remember one from that Chris, what's his fella? But it doesn't matter. If we get to it, then yeah. So again, I thank you so much for being here. And I do hope that you had a good weekend. Happy Monday, which is Moon Day, if you didn't know. We have the moon poster. I had the sun before, and now we've got the moon. I thought they were so lovely. I wanted to put them in picture frames and hang them up in my apartment because, again, I have sun, moon, and stars theme going on in here. Um, and so the problem is that I couldn't find picture frames. So I got all these really nice like prints. These are like a fabric-y type of print. It's not plastic. Just with with Luna and Artemis, and I need picture frames, but I'm really bad with measurements and shit, and I get really frustrated. So I haven't actually gotten them yet, but I do plan to. So yeah, I got them off Temu, if you're wondering. I got this off Temu, I got that off Temu, I got that off Temu, I got that off Temu. I made that wooden dog thing. I painted that for my dog. I actually got that necklace. That's a Sailor Moon Holy Grail necklace. I believe that was on Wish years ago, wish.com. Actually, this came from wish.com. Yeah, my little Sailor Moon. She's from Wish. It says Princess Serenity on it, too. Well, where is it? There it is. Right there. See? So I got her off of Wish. I really like that. These bunnies I got from the dollar store, and this is something from a concert that I found at a thrift shop. So, yeah, and I found that Indonesian type of wood art is from a thrift store. I have real peacock feathers right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's a real peacock feather. And I have 5 of them. And yeah, and this is my Japanese vase. It actually has a beautiful scene of fishing and Japanese ladies and men in their old style kimonos. It's very beautiful. I actually have an egg that matches it. I'll show you the egg. So this is my egg. You see? It matches the vase. So that's what they're doing on it almost. They're all fishing. And they're in the water, the ladies. See? Pretty, huh? It's an egg. So it matches this vase right here. See? You can hardly see it, but whatever. Vase. Vase. Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm certainly glad that we got to have this talk together today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you like my egg. Take care, everyone. We'll be back in just 2 shakes of a hen's tail. Bye! Hi again. Told you we'd be back real quick. So, this is a fella named Ben Colson. That's his channel. I think it's Colson C. Oh, I can't see. Sorry. Colson, yeah, Colson. And last night before I went to bed, I put on some videos like this. There was another fellow that I covered, but I can't remember his name anymore. But it's similar to this one. And there's a couple of channels that I like this that covers different little TikTok videos and such, which is things that I don't really have access to because I don't use TikTok and all that. So I like these sometimes. These videos have some interesting little segments. But today we're looking at that fella. His name's Chris. I forgot to look it up. Chris anyway, it says his name here, I'm pretty sure. I'm really hoping we're going to be able to hear this. I am just going to play this part of the clip, but go over to that channel of Ben's and give him a subscribe. He wants to get 100,000 subscribers so he can take a trip to Area 51. Okay, so I gave him a sub to help him get there. I don't know why you'd want to go there. There's not a lot to see. There's a lot of better places, but that's what he's chosen to do. So go over there and you can watch this video in full, and show your support to this young man. So let's see. Hopefully this is going to work. We're just going to listen to this part. This was that Chris fella that I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that they say his name. Let's just try and see if this is going to work.
When you see Iran and Israel exchanging missiles, and I saw it, the way she tells me is a vision of, I see it like a living picture screen. I could see the rockets flying. Then all of a sudden, orbs appeared out of the ocean and everywhere. And I told the government, if this happens, the orbs are going to appear and wake people up and stop it. That's what she told me. So this April date.
April 2026.
Yeah.
And okay, you've put yourself in it there, Chris.
It's okay.
It's going to be Chris Bledsoe says April 2026 is when it all happens.
Well, but I can tell you this, when I told this to the government about 2026, I just repeated what she told me. They immediately put remote viewers on. And all of a sudden, all the remote viewers are saying, oh my God, 2026, 2027, something is going to happen. We don't know what, but something.
And see, that remote viewing stuff creeps me out.
Right. And it creeps me out as well. I've said that before about remote viewers and how, because really you could be sitting in some underground facility and someone could be observing me right now, or maybe in the private time of the shower or something. You know what I mean? That's why it's creepy. I tried to look it up. Now, that's the other part I was going to show you. So with this fella, let me just go see if I can go back a little bit so we can see this fella again. Now, you heard what he said. There is there he is. So there was this thing that I've heard even like when 2010, when I first started researching, okay, that if there was a third world war, that extraterrestrials or whatever was going to be involved and not allow it to happen. Okay, this was a big thing going around for many years. And it's just peculiar to me that now, because we have this war business, I actually, forgive me, and please don't think of it that I don't care of the loss of life. It's just that I don't look at that type of stuff because, one, there's not much I can do about it. And two, it's just going to upset me, you see? And maybe, put me in a stressful situation where, I'm worried and I say, I wish I could have my power back and then I could fix things. And it just gets me into a little bit of a loop. You see what I'm saying? But I did hear about this, okay? And like I was saying here with this. So this fella talks about this as if, something's going to happen this month, just like Elena Denon predicted not that long ago. And I'm going to pause and we're going to look at two other things I remembered because I can only remember this one. Now I remember. But with this, he says 2026, 2027, right? This has been a known thing, though, that if there was going to be any type of huge world war like we've had before with disastrous consequences and all that the UFOs would show up. And this has been something that's been said for years and years. Now, it seemed really strange to me when I saw it last night because he's like 2026, 2027. Well, there's a lot that can happen between that time. And so I feel like this fella said, the one who's interviewing him, who's another UFO person, and I think he might be connected with like the government and such like that. He seems like a CIA informant type of person. He always is given that type of false type Lou Elizondo type of deal. But I don't know that fella's name, the other man who's in this video speaking with this Chris guy. So it almost seems like 2026 to 2027 just gives this fella more relevance. And they're having, now, go to Chris Bledsoe or whatever. He knows something's coming. Yeah. Well, Elena Denon did the same thing recently. So I just wanted to explain this part to you, that they've talked about war. So it's not like this guy has been told anything. Now, what was peculiar about the remote viewing is that unless you're clairvoyant, like, okay, so there's remote viewers that are able to, like, I use this as an example. Say, okay, we'll use Daughter of Lilith. She's a subscriber on my channel. Say if right now I wanted to sit down and basically see what she's doing and see where she's at, I could sit down and remotely view her. It's basically psychic spying. Do you understand? So this is what it is. Now, if you are clairvoyant and you can also like see the future events, then I suppose you could remote view future events. But remote viewing and clairvoyance is two different things. Even though they're in the same area of what's this, like, abilities of the mind and stuff. It's something they call it pseudoscience or whatever, but regardless, Russell Targ, again, is involved with this remote viewing. It has to do with, I get these confused. So there is a Stargate project, Stargate or Star, crap, I forget. But we're going to move on to that in just 1 second. I'll show you about Russell Targ. And then the Gateway tapes, which also has to do with spirit body astral projection, which can also be remote viewing. Okay. All right. So I've said what I've had to say. So I don't really know about this Chris fella, but I will tell you that that's a red flag that came up for me, because I could have said that. Oh, the Galactic Federation told me that if they go to war, the orbs are going to show up. I know what's coming. Okay, which Elena Danan pulled. So let's go over and check that out for a second. Let's just get this little part over with first. So when I went, because I was confused, I was like, are we able to view future events with remote viewing? Because it says here, remote viewing, a supposed paranormal ability by which a person can gather information about a distant, unseen target. Like I said, these, like, remember, okay, remember, when I saw that craft in 2017 above my building, I was watching. I know you probably can't see him because my picture's in the way. Let's see if you can't even see him. I am completely, but Russell Targ is behind me. On, like, where you can see me in this, his picture is behind me. So it says here about Russell Targ, it says remote viewing, sensing a distant or unseen target purposely with the mind. Remote viewing is the practice of seeking impressions about a distant or unseen subject, purportedly sensing with the mind. There is no scientific evidence that remote viewing exists, and the topic of remote viewing is generally regarded as pseudoscience. A remote viewer is expected to give information about an object, event, person, or location hidden from physical view and separated at some distance. Now it says physicist Russell Targ remote viewing, RV, is a practice of seeking impressions about a distant, unseen subject. Okay, so this is where it comes from. This is the Wikipedia site here. And I clicked that one as well. Are you guys coming with me? Let's see. Oh, you did. Okay, so again, this is the remote viewing. I know Wikipedia is definitely run by the CIA, but and that's again why they deleted initiation off of here. You can't find it anymore. Right, so Russell Targ, Harold Puthoff, the Stanford Research Institute, it talks about Ingo Swann, clairvoyance. Now, this is what we were getting into, the Stargate project from the 1990s. Russell Targ, again, is involved. Can you see him yet, or am I still covering him? Nah, his picture's still behind me. Let's see if we can get his eyes in. Right here. See if you can see his eyes. Oh, kind of his glasses, but that's his picture right here. If you look, I'll put all these links below. This was the man who I was watching the night I saw that craft. I was watching a TED Talk. There was 2 of them that I watched. There was a TED Talk, and it's called The Scientific Implications of Extrasensory Perception. And then there was another one. But as I was watching this, out of the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision, I saw that craft. That craft, where did I put my book? Oh, with the 3 red teardrop shaped lights that connect in the center. That's the night I saw. And this has to do with that, I believe. It is not a coincidence. It's too much of a similarity. The Stargate project, the Gateway tapes, I had no idea about that at the time that I saw the craft. Again, I'm thinking aliens from other planets. All right? This was ages ago. You have to remember that this channel has been going on for like 6 years now. So, okay, so the Stargate project and the Gateway tapes. Okay. Yeah, so Russell Targ, it's also, remote viewing was known as telethesia and traveling clairvoyance. Rosemary Goulet described it as seeing remote or hidden objects clairvoyantly with the inner eye, or in alleged out-of-body travel, spirit body travel, right? So you can go to a location and basically be a ghost in the room of a person. It's pretty incredible. I told you, this is more exciting with consciousness than anything else. And I think that's why they want us to focus on aliens and planets and looking out there, because in here is so much more fantastic. And again, this is why the government has been so interested in these programs like this. Yeah, this is why. Because this is what they've been into. They want to tell you that it's pseudoscience, that there's nothing to it, to ignore it, it's for crazy people. But there's a reason for that. Okay? So again, I'm going to leave these links below so that you can see. I mean, it says an event, but I'm not sure how you would do a future event. So that was kind of unclear. And I did try to look it up last night. Didn't get all so far, but you wouldn't need to see a future event, whether he was talking to somebody in the government, in the military, it didn't matter. Because I know since 2010, there has been videos, articles, other people saying, even with the last card with Dr. Carol Rosen and that fella, Von Braun or whatever, which, you know, even with that part, and the last card is the extraterrestrial thing. And, you know, they might be leading into something like that. I don't know. But it is very peculiar that both this Chris fella and we're going to, I think it's just like riding on the excitement of the times. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, this might be a good idea to make myself look psychic. So I'm going to say something's going to happen because we're going to war. And then when it does, I look like the best person ever. All right, so let's just go over and just take a quick gander about what Elena Danaan was just doing recently, and then we're going to end off this video. Be right back. Hi again, and here we are back. I said that I would be showing you a little bit from Elena Danaan's channel. Of course, this is on Telegram. I'm going to do this as fast as possible because I'm not sure how this is going to work out. But here is Elena Danaan claiming that she's had extraordinary claims, require extraordinary evidence. Carl Sagan, she has done 31 of them so far. Right. So again, this video right here is her telling everyone that she got a telepathic message from Thorhan on March 7th telling her that something was going to happen, just like that Chris fella. Okay? So again, this is her bid into the I'm a psychic, everyone take me for #1 ambassador, emissary, and all that, right? Like I was saying before, that Chris fella gave himself an entire year. Oh, something's going to happen. Again, she's done these things before. David Wilcock has had success in the past of telling people these kinds of things, like the 2012 thing and different types of predictions and such. So I just wanted to show you, you know, that she has done this as well and given this type of message. See, something may happen, and they say may happen in case it doesn't, and then they can say, oh well, you know, humanity wasn't ready, or da 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 da, and then they'll go on to say something else with, you know, in another year or at another time. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to bring your awareness to this. Again, this was a video that I think she's posted on TikTok, but it's also posted on Telegram. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of this and that they saw, you know, that again, this is, you know, again, she says this was from March 7th. So there it is. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am very grateful to you for your love and support. I hope that you have a wonderful day, even though yesterday we had a huge snowstorm. It's back to -4. But spring will come. And I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed this cool little picture because I found something to represent like space. Woo! All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye. See you next time.